What are we looking at right now? Well, this is the Ochs Worx Edx Lontra. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife, and I think it's one of the best small knives on the market today. Let's take a look at it from above. Well, the time has finally come to do the full review of what I think is one of the best knives on the market. This is the Ochs Worx Edx Lontra. Now, Eric Ochs has sent me several different knives over the years here. This is the Solar Storm. He sent this home with me from a show. He sent me the Osprey, which is his first EDX model. And these things are all incredible knives, but I think that this is possibly the best one he's made. So let's get a spec sheet up here and let's do some quick size comparisons. Your first knife's going to be the Cold Steel Tuflite, which I got it out here just because it's a good size comparison, because this is not a very big knife. Your second knife, your next knife's going to be Benchmade 940, a good bit longer of a knife, but a much narrower blade. And your final knife, or first comparison, as always, is the Chris Reese Sebenza Large 21, another knife most of you guys are going to know as a good size reference. You can see not a big knife at all, tip to tail, pivot to pivot. This is a much smaller knife. Let's get this out of the way and talk about all the really good things about this knife and a couple small bad things I've noticed. So first and foremost, this is an absolutely amazing knife, not just in form and function, but also in looks. This thing is attractive. You've got thumb studs and top flipper on this beautifully done M390 blade that is a full flat grind, comes down to a beautiful, beautiful edge. Now, I will tell you, I did accidentally tip this knife and had to do a repair, so I had to put a whole new tip on this. I dropped it on the concrete and knocked the tip clear off of it. So you're going to see a little bit of weirdness at the very tip, but that's my doing. This thing is in titanium and carbon fiber inlays. Now, this is their Arctic blue carbon fiber, fat carbon, or whatever it is that he used on this. It comes in several different variants. You have this, you have regular carbon fiber, and you have micarta. This reminds me very much of a knife that I really wanted to like, but just couldn't because it didn't fit my hand the right way or feel the way I wanted in hand. And that's the Olamic Busker. So the Busker was a great, great knife that I really tried to like a lot. And I ran into problems with the way it felt in hand. Eric has done a really good job of making this knife super comfortable and compact. So what you lack in full-size grip, you get in thickness and contouring. Super, super comfortable. Any way you look at it, it's just shy of a full 4 fingers for me on it in this grip. Absolutely a full 4-finger grip up here like this. The thumb studs are perfectly placed. You can reverse flick off of them. You can slow roll. You can also easily, even though I don't like most top flippers, front flippers, the front flipper on this is beautiful. You can roll it out and snap it. The jimping is great. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, are the thumb studs in the way of the cut? And the way this knife kind of is shaped and the way it swings up, most of the cutting you're going to do winds up at an angle where it comes along and does not. And if anything was going to be in the way the most of the time that I'm using this knife, it would be my thumb. So thumb studs are not an issue. This is a beautifully, beautifully done flat grind on this blade that comes down to a good all around behind the edge thickness. It's a little thicker than some knives, but it still slices really well because you have a nice transition. Once I did sharpen this, the edge that was on it was really, really good. But once I sharpened it up to about 600 grit and then hit it on a strop, it is great for cutting cardboard. The titanium and everything on it is done beautifully, nicely finished. You've got this beautiful backspacer that gives you a spot for a lanyard. So you can have a lanyard, but you don't have to have a lanyard hole. I like that. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite features. I'm not against lanyards. I'm against uglying up a knife. Beautifully done pocket clip on this, sits really, really good in hand. Does not provide you with any real hot spots to speak of. Depending on hand size, that might vary, but it feels really comfortable and it's beautifully, beautifully done for in and out of the pocket, just at the right tension. And because there's no real texturing underneath, this pocket clip slides in and out of pocket beautifully. It is reversible and there is an additional washer for side to sides. For you, when you swap this, you have a washer for the other side. Or if you want to take this pocket clip out, I'm curious if you could just take the pocket clip all the way out. I'm not sure. I think that it winds up being a body screw. You can see I have dropped this a couple times. Edx knives are always super comfortable, super functional in hand. I do have to say, as much as I love this knife, it's got a couple of little small things about it. And we'll get into those right now, right after you hear from Coffee Brand Coffee, this video's sponsor. Sorry, not yet. I wanted to mention this. This jimping on this pivot area here is beautiful. That gives you something that a lot of knives don't have. I was just looking at my list of things I want to talk about, and I forgot about this. A lot of knives do not have that. So not only is it attractive, that's not just for looks, you absolutely have that as functional jimping. So in a pinch grip, you've got that and it won't slip. Even if your hands are wet, that is aggressive. So it's not just attractive, it is aggressive and works really well. And you have good access to the lock bar. Just a couple of things I forgot. So now you're going to hear from Coffee Brand Coffee, and we'll turn this around and talk about the stuff that I'm not real keen on. Guys, you guys know I love coffee. I even have my own personalized coffee mug. But did you know that a lot of the coffee companies out there take a lot of the money that you give them that they should be throwing back into the company to make a better product and turn it into activism dollars? Coffee Brand Coffee does not do that. They take no stance politically any direction. They take all the money that they make and try to make a better product. So if you want to support this channel and a company that I absolutely do like the fact that they don't lean either direction politically, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. There's a link down below that will save you 5% at checkout, or you can use the coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. They also have cold brew coffee, teas, and cocos, freshly ground and roasted to order. So check them out, support them, and support this channel. So there are only a couple of small things on what is just pretty much an almost perfect knife. I wish that the thumb studs, I know that there's no real way to do it. The thumb studs are a little close. You can get on them, but then they have to be so tall because they're so close. They do have to be a little bit tall. And it does catch on pockets. So your thumb studs being so tall because they are so close to allow you access does cause it to catch and accidentally wave. So I've had this come out of my pocket or waistband a couple times, catch on the pocket lip and come partway open. Not a huge issue. It's only happened a couple times, and usually it's because there's a loose thread that gets wrapped around the thumb stud. So that. And then the only other small thing is it's a little sharp right there on that one corner. And mainly because where it intersects that jimping. And it's not just, I shouldn't say the one corner, on this one edge. It's a little bit aggressive. It's not so much that it's a hot spot or anything, but it definitely is. If you're holding this, say you're left-handed, that might be uncomfortable. If you're using this left-handed, that might be uncomfortable for some people that don't have calloused hands like mine. So, I mean, those are the only little things. I do love the fact that the thumb studs allow you to reverse flick on it, even though they're in an odd placement. And I have to say they work incredibly well. But like I said, just really close to it allows it to catch on some stuff because that makes them really tall. So overall, beautiful, beautiful knife. I love it. Big shout out to Eric Ochs. You can pick these up on his website, Ochs Worx Edx. You can just go to ochsworx.com, I believe is what it is. I'll put a link to it in the description so you guys can find it. But yeah, great, great knife that did something that a much, much more expensive knife didn't for me. So that's it, guys. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. There you go, guys. This is absolutely an amazing, all-around good small pocket knife. I love this thing. I love the fact that it does what the Busker didn't for me. As much as I wanted to love the Olamic Busker, I just couldn't. It's got that same kind of feel to it with the blade's shape and sweep, and absolutely feels perfect in my hand, if you really want to know my opinion. So not much else to say about it. Guys, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Tell me why. I can't change that content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it is as simple as dropping a like. It forces YouTube to share videos with people, even if they don't like the content. YouTube has no choice. It's just how the algorithm works. If you want to support the channel financially, however, there's a handful of ways you can do it. I have got a couple of channel sponsors down below. You already heard about Coffee Brand Coffee. I also have Tempered Trail. You can follow those links. I don't need to say anything else. They share the same coupon code of CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 5%. I have an Amazon store down below where you can use that as a search window for Amazon. Just take that, copy that link, pin it to your browser, use that for any Amazon shopping you're going to do. It supports the channel, doesn't cost you anything at checkout. There's ideas list for knives and maintenance tools and stuff like that down below, and I'm trying to build a better list of idea stuff. I also have got a membership down below that is all tier-based. Everyone has access to the Gilded server, which is just like Discord. It's now a community that is worldwide. We've got people in Europe. We've got people in New Zealand and Australia. It is amazing. We have a lot of fun. The baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered into giveaways that I do on that Gilded server that are separate of the YouTube giveaways. And the premium tier guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series that's here on YouTube behind the paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. Big shout out to Eric. Go check out his website. I love this knife. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.